this epic disaster.
Oh, are we doing it? Is that it? Okay.
It wasn't a strong start,
No.
I have to say. But it is a
All
start.
Right.
Hi. How are you? What's
Know,
going on?
chilling.
Hanging out. We're a little late. I'm not even going to go into all the reasons. Personal reasons.
It happens.
Sometimes, hey, listen. Sometimes
we're human.
We need personal reasons. We have personal reasons.
Yep.
And it might have had something to do with my butt, but probably not.
Not likely.
It could have.
But sometimes it can have something to do with my butt.
Most things I've discovered, most problems in this world can somehow be traced back to my butt.
Or your dog's butt.
She was just, even that.
She was scratching her butt on the carpet.
I don't know what's going on with that.
You just shampooed that carpet.
I also just shampooed her butt. But anyway, let's talk about our live beer review. You know, we do a live beer review every freaking episode.
We do.
And
does it ever get old?
A little bit. I think, but I mean, we're going to keep doing it.
Okay. All right. So today we're having.
So what happens is we get a beer that we've never had before, and we drink it on the podcast, and we tell you what we think of it.
This was gifted to us, and it's called it's by UpCountry. Mm-hmm. It's called Take the High Road.
Take the high road, and I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland for ye. That was my.
That was impressive.
Thank you.
That was. I'm
getting ready. So let me ask you this, and I don't mean to stop the momentum of the live beer review.
Please.
Do you remember last St. Patrick's Day, sitting out in my yard, talking about St. Patrick's Day, about how we were going to miss it because COVID. We had no idea what was coming up.
Because that was March 17th.
But that was right. It was right when COVID was kicking in and things were closing down, and they had just announced that there was going to be no St. Patrick's Day parade.
Yep.
And no one knew that what was going to happen. We didn't know.
Because I was only told, I mean, we knew it was coming, but I was only told the Friday prior to that, which was the 13th of March, Friday the 13th, when I was like, this is it. Nobody's allowed in the office anymore. You're all working from home. So Saturday, I ran to the office and grabbed up all my stuff so that I actually had something to work with. Because my home setup was not, because I don't like working from home. But yes, I do remember it was less than a week later.
Yeah.
We're sitting out there doing what we do.
And then one by one, things start closing down. So I'm hoping there might be a little change this year. I hope that there might be a St. Patrick's Day parade.
I wanted to talk about that, but it's not going to happen.
I don't know.
Look at the new surges that are. It's not going to happen.
Well, I know, but also
nobody's going to. I mean, because if they wanted to do a St. Patrick's Day parade this year, they'd have to start planning in like November.
They may have, but you know, with the vaccines and stuff, I don't know. I just hope a lot of things will come back. I think more things toward the end of the year, the middle and the end will come back before the beginning, and I feel bad. 2 years without St. Patrick's Day parade is just not worth it.
You know what I'm afraid we're going to miss again?
What?
Ren Fair.
No, I don't know. I think that starts later on. I think we'll be okay.
It starts a tax weekend, April 15th.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
So, I don't know.
Well, let's drown our sorrows. Let's go ahead and get into this brewski here.
Once again, it's called Take the High Road.
Hi, you take the... Oh, I already did that one.
You did that. It's a Black Currant Gose. Is that how you say it? It's Gose, right?
I have no idea.
Okay. I don't care. That's how I like to say it.
I don't even know how to pronounce the word black. I was a block.
Bonk?
Blick.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know.
It says, pucker up, buttercup.
Oh, pucker up, mother. You know, we listened to that show about curse words.
I watched was that the first episode?
It was.
Okay, so there's
I don't know why they started with that word, but that's the big one.
You need to grab them at the beginning. You need to grab your audience.
But they should start with other ones, and they're all good. They're all good.
They start with fuck.
Yeah, they start with the big one.
It's my favorite word.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. Fuck that. But so this is a sour ale with black currant, sea salt, and coriander. Now you and I have had another Gose that had all Gose has salt in it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is that what makes it sour?
No, it's what makes it salty.
Okay.
Get it? Salt.
I mean, I understand.
Okay. But... so, anyways, our Simply Sour series offers approachable. Stop with that.
What is that?
What? That says 12 fluid ounces.
Oh, okay.
The one over here says 4.8% alcohol.
Okay.
So no Gose is ever going to be high in alcohol. I don't think we've had one. I think most of them are around 4, 5, or 5.
Okay.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. Our Simply Sour series offers approachable, mouth-watering, and refreshingly tart kettle-soured recipes. Banned in the U.S. for decades, Black Currant is making a well-deserved comeback. Why was it banned?
I don't know.
What the hell? I love black. Okay, anyway. Vibrant in color, this dark fruit infused? No, it didn't infuse. It infused Gose. Oh my fucking
Just
God.
drink it.
All right. It's Black Currant Gose.
Who makes it? We should say that.
Oh, I think I did, but now I can't tip it because I opened it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
Give me your glass.
Pour it out. Pour it out. Ooh, it's
it's
kind of
pretty.
red.
Oh.
It's a little red.
Oh.
Kind of pinky.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Big head coming up. Oh, no. It's going everywhere. Look at that. That's like a half inch of
It's like champagne.
liquid, and the
I had no
entire
idea it was
glass
going to be
is
like
ahead.
champagne because most Goses aren't like that.
Oh, that's a lot. That's crazy.
That's like champagne.
That's crazy.
And I'm pouring it correctly.
I know. I think you are.
I know
That's
I am.
insane.
And there's still more
It's like
than half.
explosive.
So, okay, let me just put it to this. We have 2 half-pint glasses in front of us. And I've poured some of this in my glass, and then I poured some in Rick's glass.
Well, like 2
I
inches.
have-
2 inches. 2
I have
inches of
more
that.
than a half a can left of this stuff, and I have to wait for the head to go down to finish pouring it.
Something about that doesn't sound right. But anyway, yeah. How do we get more?
I guess we...
How do we
do it?
This is explosive.
Like you do champagne?
That's my glass. You just drank out of my glass. I'm gonna get COVID.
On the other side. You drink on that side.
I'm gonna get COVID
No,
now.
you won't.
Let me see what it smells like.
It smells like champagne.
It actually is.
It does. It smells like champagne.
But I can tell that it's a gose. I don't know. Gossy.
Okay, so
like Bob Fosse.
feel how much is left in there.
A lot. About half.
About half now at this point because I poured a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to give it a minute.
Well, we don't. Well, we could taste it now, and then we can pour more. It's the most lingering head I've ever seen.
That's what they all said.
I want a T-shirt that says that. All right, I'm gonna try mine.
See, I tried to try mine, and all I got was head.
Ooh,
Well, you won't like this at all.
you know what it tastes like? Tell me what you think it tastes like.
Pink champagne.
It just tastes like salt water.
No,
Yeah,
I don't taste any
it's
salt.
so salty. Usually, when we have these, I could taste the sourness and all that kind of
That's
stuff.
because what we normally have is not a Gose. It's a sour ale. This is a Gose. So
what
it's
is a
gonna
Gose? I don't know what that is.
It's look it up.
I don't have time.
Do you have Google?
I have no time to
have
research.
you heard of the Goog?
No, it just tastes a little salty to me. It tastes like salt water. Maybe it's just
Gose,
in my.
it may have a salty taste.
It may be in my head. Just I'm
In your head. Sorry, that was a horrible rendition.
cranberries. All right. Well, maybe I'll change my mind as I'm going
All
along.
right. So we're gonna drink this champagne, is what I'm gonna call it, and I have a question for you.
Okay.
We're gonna start with one of your new cards.
Oh, I got those for Christmas.
Yeah.
I wondered where they were.
They're called.
You stole them.
I did.
Did you steal my mother?
Which would you choose?
Choosing.
So I'm going to give you
choosing.
2 options,
I'm choosing.
and the point of the game is to choose one and tell me why.
Okay.
Not just choose one.
Oh, okay.
You actually have to tell me why.
All right.
Would you rather? Well, it's not a would you rather.
It's not. It's just
Would you choose?
would I choose? Which would I choose?
You can remember every little detail of every day of your life,
Okay.
like everything.
Yeah.
Or you can remember every dream you've ever had very vividly.
Oh, you almost spelled it.
I almost spilled it.
All right. So basically what you're asking me is, do I want to be able to remember reality or fantasy?
No, reality or
Fantasy.
what your brain does when you're asleep.
That's called fantasy.
It's not fantasy.
That's not real.
It's not.
Pretend.
Why? Just because it's happening in your head doesn't mean it's not real.
Huh?
I mean, it's not. Okay, the bears that showed up in my dream the other night, they weren't actually there.
I know that.
But the reality of what I was experiencing was real.
Well, you were actually having an experience.
Yes.
But what you were experiencing, as far as like what it wasn't real. It was a real experience of something not true. Just like if you watch a movie,
Right.
if you're watching Star Wars,
Right.
you're having an experience of something that's not necessarily real. In other words, the people are not on the wall. That's just light on a bed sheet on the wall, or on your TV. It's just light dancing around on a screen. Not real.
Okay, but tell me this.
Mm-hmm.
You and I have discussed the aftermath of feelings in a dream.
Yeah.
Those are real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those are real.
Well, it could be argued that what I'm experiencing of you is just light dancing around.
I don't dance very often. Actually, I dance
I didn't
a
say
lot.
you. I said light dancing around. So, who knows? Dreams, it can be argued that dreams and reality are the same thing. You are correct.
Thank you.
But
If you had to choose which you would rather remember all of, like, because you don't remember every instance of every moment of all your life, don't flip off the beer. Which would you rather? Remember the dreams or real life? Because you've had some stuff
Let
in
me
real
ask you a
life
question.
that you don't want to remember.
Let me ask you a question.
All right. What do you got?
If I have why am I even asking this? Like it's really happening. If I have the power to remember real life, I mean, is it uncontrollable? I mean, is the memories just like it's always there, never stopping, or can I like think, what did I do last Thursday? Oh, wait a minute, let me think.
Oh,
okay,
I see.
Or is it just like constantly haunting me?
So you're trying to determine whether it's just the ability to recall,
yes,
or whether it's just
nonstop
always
there. Yeah, like I'm a crazy.
I would
person.
hope. Yeah, I would hope that would just be the ability to recall.
If I can recall any time, then I'll pick that.
Reality.
If it's nonstop, stuff going on, then I'd probably go with the dream.
Really?
I think so. I wouldn't want like constantly just like when I'm, 15 and jacking off, like playing in my head
over and over and over again.
I don't want that. Stop it. It's like, remember you were thinking of your mom too.
Or that heartbreak.
Quit.
That heartbreak over and over and over.
There's so many of those.
Over again.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Could you imagine? No, I think I would go with the more mild, the ability to recall.
Yeah, I like knowing what I did in life. I think that's very cool. If I could think what I did, in second grade at this time, that would be awesome to know that.
Because all I remember are the things that either I did that were super embarrassing, or I feel super guilty about, or that hurt really bad.
Well, I think that's everybody. But I mean, just to know, I think it'd be cool. Like, oh yeah, we had that for lunch on that day, But I wouldn't want that dancing in my head nonstop, constantly.
Right.
So
no, I get that.
Yeah, that would be kind of a cool memory to have.
Yeah,
I think like a superpower.
What they call an eidetic memory.
But you could win almost every argument if you were like, remember that time you wore something? They're like, no, I didn't wear that.
No, I
like,
didn't.
Oh yeah, you did. I remember every single thing in life. Remember?
No, I didn't.
You would be like the worst person to be married to.
Oh my God.
You would always be arguing.
Remember this? Remember that? Remember this?
I mean, I'm
remember
like that anyway.
You are.
So
actually, like
I don't think my wife would like that too much.
Oh no.
Yeah, or anybody really. You'd always be that person that
you would.
No, yeah.
You'd have to really be disciplined, but you'd have to be really disciplined to not bring past shit up.
Oh, I know. But then it could be good because people would be like, "Hey, I gotta ask you. You remember when we were hanging out and I had those papers? I put them somewhere and I can't remember where they are. And I've got to have them for business. Where did you put them? Yeah, yeah. I'd be like, oh yeah, you put them, in your backseat of your car.
Just think, Rick. You would never again ask your wife, "Where did I put my blank?"
I know. When does it stop, though? I mean, like when I'm 100, am I still remembering everything? I guess so. That's part of the thing.
That's part of the question.
All right. Should I do one of these for you? Which would you choose? We really don't need to load up the show with too many of these, but I'll do one more. Let's do one.
All right.
You can only read the you can only read the first page of every book.
Oh no.
Or you can only read the last page of every book.
And I have to choose one of those?
You can choose one of those.
I don't want to choose either.
It's kind of Yeah. I don't know
Although, if they're Stephen King books, I absolutely love the first page of every of his books.
If that was the case, then you would always be tormented because you'd be like, oh, what happened?
No, I wouldn't.
But if you read the last page, you'd be like, you could almost formulate your own story. You'd be like, oh, I think I know what might have happened.
That's true too. But in the first page of every one of his books, he's just basically, he's so descriptive in his writing. Like he's an adjective king. I mean, it's kind of his last name.
Mm-hmm.
But he, you get through the first page and he sets a scene, and literally in one page, all he can set is like the instantaneous scene that you're thinking right now. So if I could put myself in that scene, I can do anything I want in that scene, and I could take the book anywhere I want to take it. Now, if I read the last page, oftentimes the last page of Stephen King's books, I'm going to be super confused.
I don't know if I should do this.
What are you going to do?
I was going to admit something.
Do it. Confession time. We need to have a segment, confession time.
I've never read a single Stephen King book, ever.
How are you even my friend?
That's why I didn't want to admit it.
I mean, I get it.
Oh, here's the thing. I've seen so many Stephen King films, which is not the same thing. I understand.
Oh, God, no.
But every once in a while you talk about something and I'm like, okay, I should read that book. Really, I don't have a lot of time to read books. And when I do read books, I always read nonfiction. I'm not a fiction reader.
But here's another thing. You listen to podcasts. Why can't you listen to books?
It's not the same thing. I think even if I listen to a book on tape. Now, do actors read his books or does he do it?
I don't think it's him always, but I think he's read some of them. Mm-hmm. I think you could get many
variations.
Now,
he has a book on writing. I have read that book, which is pretty cool.
It's a really good book.
Yeah.
Actually, I bought it as a gift for a friend.
But yeah, I should probably that's a good point. I should maybe listen to a book anyway and then maybe read it.
Because as you're listening to a book, okay, let's put it this way. You just got done saying that you've seen some Stephen King movies or movies based
like The
on
Shining.
Yeah,
and I've heard from people that the book is a gazillion times better than the movie.
Yeah. It's actually started out as a short story.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. I've heard people say, and this is just hearing that. I'm trying to think Shawshank. I can't remember, but the Green Mile? Is that it? Green Mile. Mm-hmm. I've heard people say that of all of his books, that's probably the most true to his books.
I would agree with that because I did read The Green Mile, and when he first released The Green Mile, he released it in chapters like they used to do with books. Mm-hmm. Like writers would be expected to be releasing something like back in Dickens' time, if you will. So you'd get chapter 1, and then you'd have to wait, and then you get chapter like episodic.
Yeah.
And that's how he originally released Green Mile.
Like a blog kind of thing?
No.
Where did he do it?
He released tiny little books.
So people just go to the store and buy a chapter?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense. Well, who would do that? I'd like to buy chapter 8, please. Can I buy chapter 8? It's not out yet. Well, give me 7.
It didn't work out well. Let's put it that way.
I
Most people
imagine.
Waited until the entire book was out.
It's like so.
Some of us rabid fans were
binge watching. So nobody like on any kind of internet type of TV. They don't release one episode. They release the whole thing, and then you could sit and watch them all if you want.
But at the same time, oh my God, that's what pisses me off sometimes about Netflix is because Netflix does have some series that they release episodically.
Oh, really?
Like one of my favorites. Okay, and this is one of those shows that it's a guilty pleasure. Is Great British Bake Off.
Yeah.
So they release that like episodically. So I cannot watch any of it. And my friend will come and tell me, he's like, okay, it's all there. The final just aired. You can go watch it now.
And finally watch people baking.
Yes.
Woo, my life is complete. All right. Let's play a couple of Would You Rathers, and then I have a question for you.
Sure. It's a podcast of game playing.
Drop a stone. Just drop a motherfucking stone.
Hold on. I think I just got more head.
What? Can you actually say that on this podcast? And you know what?
Where else? I can say anything I want on this podcast.
Except this podcast.
It's green.
All right, green. You know what? I almost said you were going to drop a green.
I didn't give you a chance, though. I didn't give you a chance.
All right, would you rather be forced to attend the wedding of your ex-fiancé...
I've done that.
...who dumped you and with whom you are still completely in love.
Oh, no. No. You feeling that heartbeat, are you?
That was the beginning.
I thought that was gas.
That was the beginning of Heart of Rock and Roll by Huey Lewis. Thank you very much. Or
that is like the only improvisation, or what is it? Not improvisation. Impersonation that you can do.
Or run into your ex-lover and a different good-looking love interest.
Put your glasses
vary
on.
4 months.
I
swear they didn't write this right. I mean,
just put your glasses on.
I got the first part. The first part I got.
Okay.
Would you rather? This is not my prescription. What the heck?
This might be mine.
Would you rather be forced to attend the wedding of your ex-fiance who dumped you and with whom you are still completely in love, or run into your ex-lover and a different good-looking love interest vary 4 months? See, I knew.
Yeah, you're right. That's right.
It's a misprint. It should be every 4 months, right?
Yeah, or something like that.
4 months.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
No.
So you run into, you have to go to the wedding, or run into your ex-lover who has a different good-looking person every 4 months. What a stupid concept.
That is so stupid.
That's really dumb.
Those are my glasses, by the way. I can tell.
I can't read crap. I don't think they are.
They are. I have several glasses that look like this.
I don't think so.
Yep, these are mine.
Which you got to pick.
Anyways,
stop picking your nose and pick a question.
I wasn't picking the nose. I was picking the eyes. I'm gonna go with the wedding. Because you can get drunk at a wedding,
and it's over. The other way, you have to, every 4 months. You got to keep doing it.
But if you get drunk every 4 months,
which we do,
I mean, it's true. It's true. All right, it's
the wedding.
Your turn.
Okay, I will drop a stone, even though I'm going to tell you right now. I know which one it's going to be. I'm pretty sure it's going to be red, but I'm not. I'm just going to do this. Look at that. I got both of them right, except
you got one of them right.
If I had just called yours, I would have a perfect score today.
You got one of them right.
Son of a
biscuit.
Red.
Pain, fear, discomfort.
Ow.
Would you rather have every hair on your body plucked and immediately dive into a pool of rubbing alcohol?
Ow.
Right? Oh my God.
Sadist wrote that question.
Or have your whole body wrapped in duct tape and have it ripped off?
That's kind of fun. I think I might go
No. Duct tape can actually take your skin off.
I know.
I had a friend.
But it doesn't say that. It just says the hair. It would be like a Brazilian, which I've had.
No, it doesn't say what it's going to rip off. Have you really? Because I have. I've had several.
No.
It says have your whole body wrapped in duct tape and have it ripped off.
I don't even know what a Brazilian is. I'm going to pick.
You don't?
I'm going to pick the duct tape.
You're going for duct tape?
There's only one step. The other way, first of all, you have to sit there
and let the hairs get plucked.
Hurts
pluck,
like ow,
pluck,
ow,
pluck,
ow,
pluck,
and then
pluck.
you're like, all right, we're done. Now go jump in the alcohol. Second round of pain.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the other way, duct tape, wrap on your body, kind of feels okay. No pain, though. Weird feeling, no pain. And then that hurts.
They can take your skin off with the duct tape.
If you have to jump in alcohol after that, there's a problem. But just it's one time. It's done.
But they would take your skin off.
Maybe. Not always.
Infections adds to the pain.
Okay, but that's not listed there. So
I mean,
I'm going with that one.
Okay, you're going with the duct tape.
Going with the duct tape. Okay. All right.
What's your question?
I have a question for you that I'd like to talk about. So this probably sounds like a dumb question, but I'm really curious about it. Why do we get high?
Because it feels good.
Lots of things feel good.
That's true.
Having your hair ripped off with duct tape might feel good to some people.
That's
but
why they do it.
But I'm just saying, why do we continue to get high? Yes, it feels good. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of things that feel good that we don't do all the time.
And there are a lot of things that feel good that you shouldn't do all the time.
And sometimes we get high and it doesn't feel good.
That's true, too.
Why do we keep doing it? So let me kind of explain why I'm asking. But, all right, so I was watching a Netflix documentary, which it seems like we do that a lot. But it was all about.
It's all we're doing anymore.
I know.
I mean,
it was all about psychedelics.
Yeah.
Okay. And there was a lot of these famous people talking about their experience in taking psychedelics. Some was LSD, some was mushrooms. What is
peyote?
Peyote. Yeah, Sting was on it. Sting did a lot of peyote with Indians. That's a Sting thing, I think.
I guess.
And then, just a lot of comedians and I think some actors and musicians that were talking about taking psychedelics. And I started thinking about it. And then, so they were describing their experiences. Now, I know a few people who have taken some LSD and maybe some mushrooms and things like that who have told me some experiences that have happened with them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they're just frightening, they're scary, they're weird. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that I've ever heard anything where it's just like, oh, really? I would love to have that experience. It's always like, oh, that sounds crazy. Like the dog starts baking a cake and juggling and speaking in Chinese.
Sure.
Or the carpet
turns to grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And swallows me up. So,
no.
But it's all kind of scary stuff to me. Flowers start singing. What? I don't know. And I mean, I
why is flowers singing scary?
That's weird. Was flowers start singing is not going to be scary to you?
No. Not when you know you've taken a drug. If you don't know you've taken a drug, it's going to scare the fuck out of you.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. But I mean, now there have been a few things that I've heard that seem kind of curious. Like some people say you could smell colors and you could taste sounds. What is it?
The synthesis changes.
Yeah.
You do. Okay.
But I feel like, so, all right, I've been drunk. I've been drunk plenty of times.
Sure.
And I can understand why people would want to get drunk. Sometimes I want to. It can be, number one, it can be relaxing. It does feel good. Mm-hmm. And you laugh a lot. It's kind of makes you relaxed. Okay. Mm-hmm. I've never been high. I've never done the pot. Talked about doing it on the show. Maybe I will. But I know
You've been talking about it for 2 years.
I know. I've talked to people who have done it, and I've asked them questions and stuff. And so, it's kind of satisfied my curiosity. I always feel like it's not exactly, obviously, but it's similar to getting drunk.
Yes.
And but then you start moving into, now I'm not going to go into like heroin or cocaine, which I've heard stories about that, meth or whatever, but I'm going to leave those kind of on the side, the hard drugs and stuff, and then we'll go right to LSD, the psychedelics, which the people who do it, it changes your reality. It changes your perception.
Yes.
Which I guess is why they do it.
Some people, yes.
It isn't necessarily, I think, from what I understand, it's not like, ooh, I'm high, like I'm feeling good.
No.
It's all high, like, and if you want to call it even high, it's just
not. See, I was going to mention,
you're feeling experiences.
Getting high and talking about psychedelics, those are two separate things, in my opinion.
So, why do people do it? Why do people do mushrooms? Why do people do LSD?
Also two different answers.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, do you want them? Okay, so...
Yeah. These are rhetorical questions, and I hope no one will ever come and answer for me.
So the first thing I ever took was acid. I took a blotter acid.
When you say acid, you're talking about LSD.
That's correct. On a piece of paper. A drop on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
A blotter acid.
Now, was this at a rave?
No. Actually, this was behind a high school when I was 12.
Okay. Everything happened to you as a preteen.
Yes.
From what I understand.
Everything did. I think that's the first time I took it. Matter of fact, I know it is because I was with...
Did you even know... Somebody said, here, put this on your tongue. Did you even know what it was going to do?
No.
It's just someone said, do this, and you were like, okay.
I guess they might have kind of explained it to me.
I feel like that was what Sarah Silverman said in the show. She was like, and I can't remember now, it was like she and a couple other people, they were at a party or they were somewhere, and someone came up and said, here, put these on your tongue, and they were like, okay.
No,
did it.
I think, I definitely know. I would not have just done that. Somebody had to have at least explained it to me a little bit and told me what to expect, because these were people that took care of me the entire time I was on it.
Now, you were born in the mid-70s.
Yep.
You weren't really conscious of stuff until the 80s. So this had to be in the 80s when this happened. But see, like
Yes.
I grew up, so I went through the 70s when, like, you watched the Jackson 5 cartoons on Saturday morning, and everything looked like a psychedelic trip. It was like all the art at the time.
Yes, I had been exposed to all of the psychedelic looking things on television. My mom dug that kind of stuff. Like I would see that kind of stuff on TV.
H.R. Puffin stuff, which was a psychedelic trip, basically.
Yeah. But I didn't understand what it would feel like because you can't explain it.
Right.
There's absolutely zero way to explain it. I was kind of told a little bit, and I was made to believe that I would be very well taken care of. So go ahead and do it. Let's find out. Let's see what happens, right? So I did. And there were some scary parts, but for the most part, I didn't do any real hallucinating other than things like trails or, stuff like that.
But is the experience something that it's just like...
You laugh a lot.
Okay, so you're feeling good. I understand that.
No, it's uncontrollable laughing at some points.
I'm trying to figure out why people keep doing it. Why would you keep doing it? So let's say I'm an artist and I do it, and it opens me up to a new experience of reality that affects my artist or spirituality or my humanity or whatever. So okay,
also a thing.
I do understand that. I've heard those stories. I can understand, but it's just like you're open. Does it close?
Yes.
Do you just like, okay, the door closed. Now I need to get it open again, so I'm gonna have to do it again.
Well, okay, no.
I don't. I'm trying to figure out why people keep doing it. So one experience opens you up. You've got that experience. You're open. You don't ever have to do it again. What causes people to need to go back and redo it?
You used to tell me about your creative well. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you would lose the ability to dip into that well. Mm-hmm. There you go. There's your answer.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. So you get that, and then you have that, and then so you lose it again. Mm-hmm. You have to open it
it's still there. Like the memory of it is there. But if you feel like you need some new inspiration, like if you're using it for that purpose and you feel like you need either new inspiration or if you're using it for a spiritual purpose and you feel like you need new answers, it's the same. You're at a crossroads, or you want to use it for that reason. Obviously, if you're doing it in a responsible way like that, you're making arrangements to make sure that you're going to be taken care of prior to taking it. Now, if you were like me as a teenager who just did it to just do it, and I did it, 10, 12 days in a row, you're just doing it to have fun. You're not doing it for any other reason. But there are people that utilize psychedelics. Thank you. Psychedelics for a good reason. Like for themselves, it makes good sense, and they do it responsibly.
Well, I don't really. I not having the experience, I don't know what that. I know that everybody like Sting. He was like, you plan. You don't just do it.
Right. You have to plan because you're not going to be able to go anywhere. If there's an emergency, there's got to be somebody there to take care of it because you're not going to be able to do it.
Well, he was saying, he was like, I actually planned vacations out just to do it. It was like, this vacation is going to be to do that. And then there are rules people talk about. One of the rules was never, ever look in a mirror.
I disagree with that rule. Mm-hmm. I've done the mirror looking and had good and bad experiences.
There were a couple people who said that too, but mostly people said don't.
I mean, well, you get stuck there. That's one of the bad experiences I had is I got stuck in a mirror. Like, not in the mirror, obviously. I'm not Alice.
Sounds like fun.
I just can't but I could not stop staring at my face, and your face will change as you look in the mirror because you're hallucinating. Mm-hmm. And it can be extremely frightening.
Yeah. One of my friends told me the first time he did it with a friend of his. And that guy gave him LSD, and then he left.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up. Don't do that. You're not
supposed to do that. And so he left him by himself. But my friend said, and I may have said this on the show before, but it felt like he was having an orgasm. And it was great, except it went on for like 12 hours. Yeah. And he said after a while... it didn't feel good anymore. It hurt.
And it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was nobody there to help him out. I don't know if he ever did it again. But I I don't know. I keep wondering what it is that brings people back to that. I do know what brings people back to gin. I know I understand what brings people back to pot, but I'm a little confused about why people would keep coming back to mushrooms and LSD.
If I can make a suggestion, if you ever choose to use a psychedelic,
I don't know that I need
I don't
to.
think that you need
Maybe
to
a
or
mushroom
would. But
on pizza.
that's what I was going to say. Please go with the mushrooms rather than the
Chemical.
LSD. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's all chemicals,
Sure.
but some of them are a little bit more natural. And I will also say that the experience between the mushrooms and the LSD in a number of ways is better, the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Because you can base how much you're ingesting based on how much you eat.
Yeah.
So you can start with a little bit and see if you like it.
I have no.
And then you can, if you wanted to, but also when you take blotter acid or LSD, really of any kind, if it's not very clean, you're going to end up feeling like fuck all for like 2-3 days afterwards.
Yeah.
It's just, it tears your stomach up and it just tears up. Yeah, you don't need any of that.
It's not really something I'm not curious about as far as ever taking. I'm just curious about other people's experiences with it. And I don't think I would ever do it. I'm just when I saw that documentary, it was just like, why? What causes people to want to do it? How does it change them? I can understand. So like the Beatles talk about how they did it and it opened them up so they made better music. And I can understand that concept.
Right.
But I just wonder why they would continue to do it after taking it once, and do you have to keep doing it to keep up that openness? And I don't know, not knowing, having the experience.
I think some people can take it once and have had that experience and then feed off of that experience forever. But then other people, just like any experience in life, you can't necessarily feed off of that one experience forever.
Yeah.
So maybe they're hoping to experience either something different or something more. But yeah, for those reasons, that was never any of the reasons I took it. So I can't answer to that. I will say, just to go on record, that I really, really wish that I, as a young person, very, very young, because I started using drugs when I was 11. So from the time I was 11 until...
Do you think it messed you up now?
Yes. I think I would be a much smarter person now. I think I would have gone farther in my education. I think I would be more than I am now.
Do you think it did physical damage, or it just like kind of robbed you of like the will to go on?
Both. Yeah. I think that the physical damage in a lot of ways is actually evident for many years. It's not as prevalent now, but it's still there if I get tired. But it used to be constant, is that my peripheral vision shook.
Really?
Yeah, and it's scary. And you just get used to it. And either I've just my brain has gotten like so used to it that it just filters it out, or it's slowed down. But that's one physical aspect. Another physical aspect is some of the other drugs that I did, not necessarily the psychedelics, but they caused me some physical damage to, my skin and my heart and my bones.
But you stopped early enough to where I think it's probably not permanent damage.
I agree with you that I did stop early enough, but, had I never done, because I did a lot of drugs, like a lot of drugs. And if I had just not done that much, there's nothing wrong with experimenting. There's nothing wrong with trying it. I mean, obviously, I hope nobody at the age I did it would do it today.
Right.
But at the same time, I am happy that I did it all then.
You got it over with.
Exactly. Because if I were that.
Do you ever get cravings? Do you ever like, maybe at one time?
I'll talk about that in a second. But if I had done the amount of drugs and alcohol and partying that I did then as an adult, I would have lost everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Like, because I'd have lost everything. Anyways, yes, once in a great while, I will get cravings, but I'll be honest with you, they're mostly gone because I, throughout the years since I was 18, which is when I officially quit using drugs, and even like I literally quit when I was like 16, but here and there. When I was 18, I said, that's it. I'm not doing any more of this. And then I have used since then on occasion, and every time I've done it, I've regretted it.
Yeah.
Every single time. So now if I do get a little craving that's like, hey, maybe I'll just go find some blow or something. I'm like, no.
It's fun, but
No.
it's not worth it.
Not at all.
You get that experience to where you can put it behind you.
Yeah.
I think there's so many. I mean, that's kind of adult. That's what it is to be an adult. Really, is to be able to say, yeah, that would be fun, but I also know why it wouldn't be fun.
And why it's
I'm not gonna
dangerous
do it.
for me,
Yeah.
and why it's a bad idea.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I could have been a totally different person to be involved in drugs, which I never got involved with. And thank goodness. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody could have done it. And then once you do it, you can't blame people because I know addicts. I know people who wish they weren't doing it and they're stuck into it. And I probably have that personality. I could have been, and I didn't. So it's probably better that I just don't.
Yeah. I mean, there are a couple of things out there that I've experienced, and it tends to not be the explicit stuff. It's more the prescription stuff, which I think in some ways is much more dangerous. Occasionally I'll still get cravings for some of those things.
Yeah.
But because they're not as readily available, or at least I'm not out looking for them, because I'm sure I could find them, but I just don't, because of the same reason. It's just not a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I guess as you get older, a lot of things aren't good. I don't know. I think about that about when you're younger, you have the ability to do things, anything from drugs to drinking to even eating things that...
Or staying up all night studying.
Totally. Then you get older, it just
yeah.
hits you so much harder.
Yep.
I don't know how people my age are still doing drugs and stuff.
Oh, God, me either. They're either, I don't know, petrified inside or something.
Yeah, I mean, those people just, it's, there's hope for everybody.
Sure.
But I just feel like they got a much longer road. So
Or a much more painful one.
it's like, start now. Do it.
Now would be the time to do it.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Let's shut down the show. Let's shut the show.
Shut the show.
Shut the show now that
Shut
we've
it.
talked about all the drugs. I've always been kind of fascinated with LSD, not as taking it, but I think it's because I was raised in the 60s and 70s, and LSD was part of a culture. I don't think people at the time knew really quite how dangerous it was.
Yeah.
So the art world, whether it was Peter Max or, like I said, the Jackson 5's background, was that. It was psychedelic, and there was a lot of talk of psychedelics, and it kind of like infiltrated the pop culture at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So I was very much aware of it, and I knew that people were doing it, and I'd heard about it and stuff, but I didn't know a whole lot about what it was. I was just too young.
Did you know what, like, free love was at the time?
I don't think I knew what it meant, but I didn't really know what it meant,
Yeah.
so I was too young to kind of get that concept. And I knew, like, at Woodstock, I don't even know at the time that I knew growing up when Woodstock happened, but later when I could reflect back on Woodstock, and I knew people were dancing around naked and stuff, and I mean, I just thought that was bad,
Well, yeah, with your upbringing, you would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just growing up, and it's easy to judge things that you don't know about.
Right, absolutely.
And the same with people who make certain decisions on experimenting or whatever. It's none of my business, but I get curious. I'm just like, well, how did this work? And so to me, that documentary was interesting. It's somebody like Sting who, I mean, good heavens, I know Sting's done so many things that I wouldn't know anything about.
Right.
But just to know that a musician or an artist who I respect has experimented here, it's fun to know how that affected what they produced.
Yes,
from an art
absolutely.
standpoint.
Like, if you can look at a before and after of any artist, especially maybe a visual artist, prior to them experimenting with some psychedelics and then afterwards, and if they were actually expressing what they experienced, that it would be an interesting art table book to have.
I think it's interesting too, though, like somebody like Sting, like a big giant rock star, and you think about, he could kind of come out and go, oh yeah, I did psychedelics, and it changed the way I felt about this, and it made me feel like this, and I was able to create all of this kind of art doing that. But yet, if someone like a government leader came out and said, oh, I did a whole bunch of psychedelics, and it made me open up and see everyone is the same, and we all need to love each other, we would be like, don't vote for that person.
Right?
Isn't that weird?
It is
so,
weird.
like, I think we respect certain things in our artists, but not in our kindergarten teachers.
Or our world leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'd be much more harsh on certain people. It's like, we don't want them having that experience. But, you know, these losers who call themselves artists and musicians, they're allowed to.
Yeah. Apparently it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have not done it. I don't know. I've done a few things. I think I'm satisfied. Every once in a while I get a feeling of, you know, I'd like to try something like some Mary Jane, some pot.
Mary Jane.
Yeah.
The reefer.
Maybe shoot a little reefer. Might want to. I don't know. I might.
What
like
movie
to.
is that from? Shoot a Little Reefer, or was it Snort a Little Reefer? There's a movie where they say that. And I can't remember what it is.
I don't know. I think as I get older, I lose that that desire. Although I think it'd be fun to do on the show. So I don't know. Maybe this year we'll do it.
Maybe.
Let's talk about. Speaking of shooting the reefer, let's talk about this beer.
Which you
is
clearly
it a
don't
beer?
like.
Is it a beer?
No. It's a Gose.
Should I tell you? I can't drink it. I don't like it.
I see that.
And I will say that I think on another day I might be able to.
Yeah.
I could not handle it right now, and all I know is I came up here with a little glass of grape juice with some gin in it.
Yeah.
And I think that
It's
the
overly sweet, yeah.
The sweet from the grape juice is making this so much saltier, and I can't handle it.
Because you mentioned salt immediately, and I don't get salt right away with this.
I took two.
What I get is sour.
Yeah.
And I like that, but then I've been having my vodka with water. So that's it.
I took 2 tiny sips of this, and that's all I could
You
put in my
made
mouth.
faces.
I could not
You made
drink
faces.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's for me, and I don't know, is it fair for me to judge that beer on that only?
Nope.
Let's say you're pouring it into your glass right now, and it's actually got a head coming on. So
That's something you love
I
in a
know
drink.
it's keeping the
Carbonation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't even like the flavor. I couldn't get the flavor. So
I think it's because you were your mouth was,
I don't know.
you had a sweet mouth.
I don't know. Couldn't do it. So I'm afraid it's going to affect my score.
Oh, I'm sure it is because you wouldn't even drink it.
I'm giving it a 1.
Oh, honey.
I'm sorry. I don't.
And
I
you
hate
won't
to-
ever get another one of these unless you go to
I
Asheville
know, I know.
or actually, where's it from? Oh, that's
This is
what I
South
forgot.
Carolina.
It's South Carolina.
Yeah, we talked about that. It was
Ow.
but
This is a it's from what does it say? Where's it
I
from?
mean, I gave it a lower score than Twisted Tea.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I couldn't drink it. I can't drink it.
Okay, brewed for
It tastes like-
UpCountry. It's brewed for UpCountry Brewing Company by our good friends at Thomas Creek Brewery in Greenville, South Carolina. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, the artwork is fun.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, speaking of psychedelics,
Right.
But it just feels like you fell asleep in the beer on the beach, and the salt water's got in your mouth.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
I don't have that much salt. No.
Couldn't do
no.
it. Couldn't do it. All right.
Well, I'm going to give it a 4.
A 4? Mm-hmm. No.
Yes, because
You're-
I would have this again. If you had more of these downstairs, I would take them home with me.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a big gap there. Well, that's funny because if we go back a few years when we did the Pastryarchy Candy Cane,
When was that?
that was back at Christmas time. I think that was
not
actually
a few-
Christmas
You
week.
said a few years.
I meant to say a few episodes.
Okay.
You did a 1 and I did a 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really liked it, and you did because
I
it was
didn't like it
mint.
at all.
It was
Yeah.
It was mint.
You can't expect me to like something that's
So we
mint.
just kind of flipped it on this time. Wow, that's kind of interesting. All right.
I mean, it just goes to show because for a while there we were kind of judging everything kind of the same.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show that when it actually comes to certain things, there are things that I really like and you don't, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
That's how we are. We're people.
Well, another podcast has come to an end, and aren't you glad?
I am.
Thanks for hanging out with us. If you want to send us an email and tell us that you like the podcast or dislike the podcast, thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Hang out with us on Facebook. I know we've talked about this for several times, and we didn't do it, but I feel a Zoom meeting coming up. We need to
You
do
feel it?
that.
You feel it
We
inside?
need to do that. I need to clean up the studio a little bit. I don't want
Oh,
people
yeah.
to see how dirty my
no.
studio is. And then we'll do a Zoom meeting or a video or something. We need to communicate in a different way. I'm really feeling like 2021 is going to be a positive year. I feel like we need to get out. We need to talk with the people more. We need to do a few things outside of our room. And
But talk with the people right now.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm just saying 2021. I think later.
Okay.
And we'll go out. We'll do some videos. We'll do some stuff. But we do need.
We could just walk around a park and do a podcast walking around a park.
Our last meeting, our last Zoom was your birthday. No.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It was the last one.
No, it wasn't.
August. No, July. Way back in July.
I'm glad you remember my birthday.
Well, I was trying to remember if we did it on your birthday, but that would be because you remember. Did we do one? Because one person showed up.
What was the sci-fi one where we were supposed to dress up like sci-fi?
I thought that was before that. Because I feel like we gradually lost.
We don't remember shit anymore.
But I think we kept deciding we were going to because we wanted to do one like every couple months. So
we didn't do anything for Thanksgiving?
No, we kept saying we're going to, and I think we just kind of got bogged down.
And it just went.
And this is really interesting. A lot of people
Nobody cares.
want to hear us argue about that. But anyway, so we need to set that up, and we'll do that really soon. And I did a video. So we might,
your boy band video.
Well, yeah, we might put some videos up. So
we should test out those dance moves and do a video of that.
I'm not testing anything out right now. But yeah, we need to do more videos and just connect with our people. People. And you can connect with us on Facebook. We are on Instagram and other places. You can hear the shows on YouTube. You can download the shows. You can subscribe, which you should, and download anywhere that you get podcasts. And then once you do that, please give us a little star and a little rating. Let people know what you think of the podcast. That helps us out more than anything. That's the best gift that you could give
the rating
to us. That's better than head. It's better than beer head.
No, I didn't say that. Oh, better. Okay, yeah. Better than beer head.
It's much better than beer head. So do that. Do that for us. Any place that you download your podcast. Is that all?
That's it. We're done.
All right, you drink your crappy beer.
Okay.
I'm going to go downstairs and have some dinner.
All right, you do that.
Everybody, we'll see you next Monday. Sorry we're late, but we won't be late next week.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.